As Gamecom is winding down, we still have some news to give. There were a ton of day one stuff, but there's one title that I picked out that I'm eagerly anticipating. Let me show you.
Yeah, guys in their 20s. What kind of video game are they going to make? We knew that there was something special going on. Fight! Fatality.
The freedom that we were given to create that game, in hindsight, was incredible.
Flying through the sound, riding on the beat, flying through the sound. Up and down, round and round, up and down. Up and down, round and round, up and down. Up and down, round and round, up and down. Up and down, round and round, up and down. I'll be getting down.
Get over here! Flawless victory.
I'll be getting down.
Man, that is the greatest fighting game from my childhood that actually shocked the hell out of me. Now, looking back at it now, it doesn't look as shocking as when I first saw it. When I first saw it, it actually blew my mind. But yo, you know what we're doing. Let's get into that intro.
What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no wriggling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash make it a portrait. Gun kick back, now grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, it's a wonderful Thursday. I call it Friday Junior, the day before fight night. You know what it is. We're about to get it in. Now, I got a stream. If you saw me yesterday on Frontline Gaming Streams, you saw me putting in that work. I was putting in the work on the House of the Dead remake. It's $2 right now. You can go catch that inside the store. But I was also putting in work on that Black Myth Wukong for Xbox. I was playing it on my Series X. And I got a chance to have some fun. So if you go and watch me today, I'm doing that again. But y'all know what you're here for. You're here for that Xbox ROG Ally X news. Now, I think Xbox is on a roll. They are, without a doubt, Publisher of the Year. They have published more games this year than ever before. Microsoft is on an all-time high. Xbox is tearing up the streets. It's with this renewed vigor that I honestly see there's no limit to where they're trying to conquer. And it seems like they're trying to conquer the PC. With all the information that I do have, with Steam trying to come out with a machine and a new Steam Deck, a new console. Microsoft is trying to beat them where it hurts, in the PC pockets. But let's get into these topics. This is dirty work. This is absolutely dirty work. This is why I can't mess with Sony. They start shit and they don't finish it, man. This is why I can't mess with Sony, man. Pardon my French, man. I apologize, man. Gotta bleep that out. Man. Sony Interactive sells their stake in EVO to Nodwin Gaming, PlayStation manufacturer, to transition to a global sponsor of the tournament instead. Wow. Instead of fitting the bill, they said, we'll give you some money. If you knew you couldn't handle it, if you knew you couldn't afford it, why? Why? Sony Interactive Entertainment has sold its stake in EVO Championship Series to Nodwin Gaming, a company backed by the PlayStation manufacturer's parent company, Sony Group Corporation, the organization has announced. Sony Interactive Entertainment will become a new global sponsor for EVO Championship Series through 2028. And after 2028, they're not going to be a sponsor any longer. You get us all lathered up. You make this fighting stick. You get this game coming out. For what? We thought you was bringing fighting back. Apparently, investing in gaming is not exactly what Sony wants to do. I don't know. I think Sony has turned into a bystander. I don't know, man. This is stupid. Out of all the good news that we're getting this week from Xbox and everybody else in gaming, the worst news has been coming out of Sony. Now, Jacob Fox just got his hands on the Xbox ROG Ally and the Xbox ROG Ally X over at Gamescom in Germany. And everyone that I speak to, everyone that I talk to, everyone that has gotten their hands on the machine say the same thing. The comfortability of it. The pure comfortability of the machine, how it fits in your hands, how it rests in your palms, how your elbows aren't flared out. You know, it's funny. You think these companies don't look at each other as competition, but they do. If you don't think that there is, and when it comes to engineers always want to engineer the best thing. So when you get an engineer that's going up against another engineer, and I'm talking about the Portal versus the Xbox ROG Ally and Xbox ROG Ally X, you're going to get a little bit of snippiness. You don't believe me? Let me show you.
And you're using your palm to pick up these devices. And I say it's kind of like a tray-like feel. With the ROG Xbox Ally series devices, it rests into your fingers and then into your palms, and then allows you to curve over, giving you the freedom to use that to play. On our wonderful new ABXY keys with the tactile feel and color coloring of the new Xbox controllers. It's not as simple, though, as just taking a controller and splitting it in half and putting a panel inside.
What did he say?
It's not as simple, though, as just taking a controller and splitting it in half and putting a panel inside.
I've been looking forward to this.
Really, that would cause you to flare out. So there's a subtle detail of how you kind of want to have you fall in and be natural. And those contoured feels and this natural feeling really helps with the overall weight distribution. And that means comfort when you play long on these devices. And so
if you don't think these engineers is about that smoke, you're out of your mind. They're about that smoke, they want that smoke, and they're about all of that action. And for what he just said, you just can't split it down the middle with the throw a screen on it. About that smoke. Let them cook. P. Parsons walks away from the absolute crap show that is Bungie, that is Sony that acquired, Sony that infested, and Sony that devoured and consumed. Pete Parsons takes his ball and leaves, and Justin Truman steps into his place. Bungie is dead. Bungie that we once loved and knew is no longer. It is absolutely over. Sony is crashing and burning in ways that we couldn't fathom. Well, you couldn't fathom. I told you it was going to happen swift. It was going to be fast. It was going to be crazy. And this is living up to everything that I thought it would be. Passing the torch, please. Pete Parsons says, the hell with this. I'm not down with none of this meddling crap and these people telling me how to run my company and they can't make a successful live game. Last time I checked, we made successful games. We made our mark. Who the hell are you? The only thing you known for is the Walkman and Trinitrons. And we're far away from Trinitrons and Walkmans. Sony, every time I turn around, you stepping on rakes, bro. So it seems to be a bit of controversy. When it comes to Xbox, of course there's a bit of controversy. Of course there's a reason why there's a bit of controversy. Because everyone hates Microsoft. And in turn, everyone hates Xbox. Okay, so Microsoft explains why the ROG Xbox Ally price and pre-orders haven't been announced yet. So I gave you the price and I gave you when the pre-orders were supposed to go up. The pre-orders was actually supposed to go up the 20th of August. And then I heard they got pushed back to the 21st. So then 21st came and they still didn't announce it. I believe charting and internal metrics of everything, and they're trying to navigate the upcoming tariffs, which I find to be absolute BS, is making them gun shy in announcing the price. We already know the price. Well, it says, well, speaking to IGN today, Xbox exec of next generation Xbox hardware, Jason Ronald explained that it's difficult to find the right balance between affordability and price in a challenging macroeconomic climate, and therefore the team needs more time. I don't know what deal that they're trying to strike with either AMD or Asus, but from my summations, $549 for the Xbox ROG Ally and $899 for the Xbox ROG Ally X. Now, if they can come in under those prices, I think they got a winner. Valve is taking another stab at a Steam machine. Valve Fremont Steam console appears on Geekbench. Now, this is not the first time that Valve has taken a stab at a Steam machine. They had hit slight success with the Steam Deck. For PC people, the Steam Deck was a godsend. For PC people, the Steam machine wasn't. Console guys was like, what the hell was that? And PC guys was like, why the hell would I buy that when I could just buy PC? So, according to Geekbench listings, Valve Fairmont features a 6-core, 12-thread processor running at 3.2 gigahertz base frequency. The device tested also has 8 gigabytes of DDR5 memory. And it should be noted, however, that it's just because it appears on Geekbench, it doesn't mean that the specs are 100% locked in. There could be various changes between the testing, and it appears something when it becomes official, they'll talk about it. They said the operating system is Windows 11 Pro 64-bit, AMD customs. Me personally, does it happen? Should it happen? I think all of that should happen. Does it happen is more what happens with Microsoft and Xbox. When it launches, Valve Fremont is expecting, according to Lynch, to release alongside the new controller and the new VR headset, and its new new VR controllers and the new VR headset. So, Microsoft got people acting strange. Do I believe that Valve will be successful with the Steam Deck 2? Absolutely not. Will I believe that Xbox will be successful with a hybrid Xbox PC console? Absolutely. Will I believe that Xbox Asus ROG Ally X will outperform the Steam Deck? No, the Steam Deck is already entrenched. They will be opening up new ground as more people get a chance to see the Xbox ROG Ally X in the wild. I think price point is key. I think price point keeps that at bay for now. But when the Steam Deck 2 comes out, what does that mean? It's those things. I think Valve should have been worried about Steam Deck 2 and not worrying about a new Steam machine. Remember when I told you that Microsoft and Xbox is playing dirty pool? All right. The beta for Call of Duty Black Ops 7 early access starts October 2nd to October 5th. Then the open beta is October 5th to October 8th. Pre-order and you can get it, right? You can get that. What game comes out on the PlayStation on October 2nd? I told you strategically, Microsoft and Xbox will be looking to choke Sony out. Ghost of Yode comes out on October 2nd. I told you, regardless to what, they're going to make every last AAA title, first party title, whatever's coming out from their first party, they're going to target launches of their own games, of Xbox's own games, because you already let them inside your house. You can't stop now. And they will place these games around the launches of your most important IPs, your most important titles, and force the consumer to either play or not. Pick a side. I can guarantee you that month that beta will be more played than Ghost of Yode. You're going to start seeing 4D chess right in front of your very eyes. Remember, I told you this. I told you this ahead of time. They're going to start strategically attacking Sony's main pillars of games that they put out. They only put out one game a year. One live service game a year, 2 live service games a year, or 1 live service game a year, an update for the live service game, and 1 mainstay. Sony is down to kibbles and bits of putting out games, and Microsoft is targeting these games. The Xbox ROG Ally X is a very important device in Microsoft and Xbox's plans. And I know that a lot of console gamers are seeing this geared towards PC. Well, it's a Windows 11 device. And what they're trying to do is encroach onto the PC's stomping grounds and trying to get a larger footprint when it comes to PC gaming. This is necessary. For all intents and purposes, Microsoft has taken over Germany. Actually, PlayStation's home base. And where PlayStation can do nothing but put out bad news as far as raising prices on consoles, Pete Parsons leaving, and otherwise poor decisions of starting off as a owner or part owner in EVO to now being a sponsor. While Xbox is telling you all the games that they're dropping inside Game Pass day one. Like, I looked at a list, and somebody had put a list on Twitter, And it was like $600 and something up to this point of how much savings that you would have if you would just invest inside Game Pass. And it's like up to this point is like up to $600 and some odd dollars. And then how much it costs a year for Game Pass. And the savings is staggering. And I got to give PlayStation some kudos because they did say something about like day one drop of a game inside their ecosystem. When I can look at Sean Layden, and I don't have anything wrong with Sean Layden. I think actually Sean Layden was part of the good times over at Sony. I just think those good times are gone. I think Sony has backed themselves up into a situation where they kept trying to fight off someone who had more money than them, that had deeper pockets than them, that had a clear-cut vision in exactly how to conquer and win. And in conquering and winning, and I know you guys are going to say something like, well, King, they're not console warring anymore. Like, listen, that stuff is over with, right? That stuff is over with. When games are being placed into ecosystems and, consoles are the defining metrics of what the fan base has to hold on to, that's scary. Oh, with Xbox having 41 million Game Pass subscribers, I don't know how many Ultimate or how many, standard or whatever, and you have like 35 to 38 million consoles sold, getting close to 40 million. I don't really care about numbers. Like, numbers is not really a thing. Like, it's about games. Like, somebody I put inside in one of the comments, and they were telling me if Mario Kart never sold another game, Sonic will never catch up to it. Sonic Racing. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? Who cares about that? I don't care about how many they sell lifetime. I just care if it's a good game. Somebody tricked us. Somebody tricked us into pixel counting. Somebody tricked us into console counting, and somebody tricked us into these numbers. And my thing is, what is the platform offering you? If the platform is offering you what you want, then great. Enjoy it. But if it's not, then what are you going to do? Right? Because, you work all this. You trade your time for money. Your time is your most valuable commodity. And with your time, you want to be satiated to the point that you're satisfied. Right? Whatever you're trading your time in for, and you're going to get money, and it's not going to be worth your time. But you're going to go pick up this device, and you're going to be part of this ecosystem. I want you to answer this question seriously. Seriously. And this is no console warring. If you had a decision to make today, and you had the PlayStation console and their ecosystem, and you were going to be locked off to that console and that ecosystem for the rest of your life, and you had the Xbox console and their ecosystem, and you're going to be locked off to that console and that ecosystem for the rest of your life, knowing what the ecosystem entails. See, Microsoft's ecosystem and Xbox console is PC, console, handheld, cloud, AI. PlayStation, if they make their handheld, is they handheld, portable, and whatever games they drop off on a PC. That's their ecosystem. That's their service. Who do you pick? Hands down is Xbox. Hands down. So, for you, maybe you say to yourself that something changes. I don't really see a lot of hope for the PlayStation fan. Because if your last bastion is the 80 million shipped numbers that you keep talking about. And Gamescom just came. I want you to think about this for a second. I want you to really think about this. Gamescom has just came and basically went. It's over tomorrow. And then, but they're going to still have, it's like an earthquake. It's going to have reverberations throughout this whole week and into next week. Gamecom has come and went with the only news coming out of the Sony camp is poor bad news, where all the excitement is for what is sure to be the publisher of the year, Microsoft and Xbox, with this Xbox ROG Ally in the biggest stage with the biggest games, doing the most with topics like, what is Call of Duty going to do with Battlefield? Who owns Call of Duty? Xbox does. With Overwatch dropping season 18 with new characters, who owns Overwatch? Xbox. World of Warcraft, Xbox. Indiana Jones going to Switch, Xbox. With some of the biggest hype surrounding Forza Horizon 6 talking about being in Japan, there is no buzz, nothing surrounding the PlayStation. What do you have going on? I'm truly, for the first time, looking at you guys in all seriousness, because I tell you, hashtag no PlayStation 6. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. We're going to run it up on these bumps. I tell you this, and I told you what was necessary in order for that stuff to transpire. And I know you're going to have people that's in the chat that's going to be like, well, King, they still have research and development. They're still making them. It's going to happen, King. With you individuals still there telling me this stuff, I truly worry for you. I see channels closing down. I see people trying to attack me. I don't even know who these people are. I see people looking desperate. And I see people denouncing the platform. Remember when y'all told me, yo, you should change your name to Frontline Gaming News? I said, no, I got Frontline Gaming Streams, where I stream everything in that game. I said, but this is Xbox Frontline News, because I know Xbox is going nowhere. I know by the time this time next year, when they drop the next console next November, on the 25th anniversary of the Xbox OG, and everybody's running around with their Xbox ROG Ally X's or Xbox ROG Allies, and they're playing so many games, and we're anticipating E-Day and the new Halo and the Forza and Fable and all these games. When we're doing all of that and we're anticipating all of that, and we're moving in the manner of prosperity and the momentum, everything is here. We got motion. It's crazy. What the hell is PlayStation going to do? What the hell is PlayStation going to do? Somebody said something that was important in one of my comments, because I read all the comments. They said that if a PlayStation game drops on Xbox, it'll just go to the backlog. And the only reason why Xbox games hits the PlayStation ecosystem and go up is because they don't have a backlog. And I said, WFT. Well, no, WTF. Dyslexia. It's a monster. I'm like, really? Wow. I never thought about it like that. I never thought that you guys really don't have nothing to play, and that's the reason why you're starving for Xbox games and wanting Xbox games. And come October 16th, we're just going to have your games anyway, so it doesn't matter. You saw the Steam store, you saw everything that Xbox ROG Ally X and Xbox ROG Ally is able to do. When you're able to jump from ecosystem to ecosystem, when you're jumping from platform to platform on the same device while accessing your console, be it streaming or downloading it natively, you're at a point now where you're boxed in. And Xbox has done it. Well, this is Xbox Frontline News. If you love Xbox and you love gaming, well, you found your new best friend. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Share it out to a friend. Let them know what we do. And tomorrow's Fight Night Fridays, where we're going to knuckle up. And it's going to happen. You heard me? So, I'm going to take that logo, and I'm going to go where the players play and the winners win. And I'm going to tell you like I always tell you. Try to play the Game Pass.